real soft. You can see. Mm. Oh, that's good. Which I knew it would be. And you can have them at home. So I'm making doubles today, and I'm going to be doing a comparison video today. So it's going to be a little bit different. This over here is going to be my recipe that I use. This is going to be one that I found online that I'd like to try and see which one tastes better, which one's more authentic. I always get really great reviews with mine, but let's just check it out and see. We'll be doing them side by side. Right here is going to be listing all the ingredients for each. There's slight differences between the two, so let's see which one is better. So we're going to go with mine first. 3 cups of flour. So here's 1, 2, 3. This is also all-purpose flour, okay? The new recipe calls for 2 cups of flour. It's a slightly smaller batch. So there's 2 cups of flour. Okay. So both recipes call for 1 teaspoon of salt. So I'm actually going to be doing measurements instead of like my spoons. So 1 teaspoon of each. So this is where one of the ingredients differs. The new one wants 1 teaspoon of yeast. So I'm going to add that here. But my recipe that I use is 1 tablespoon. I'm going to use that. Okay, so both recipes call for 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. So that's 1 tablespoon in mine. And here's another tablespoon for this one. Okay. So both recipes call for half a teaspoon of turmeric. I don't know if I really want to put half a teaspoon in the 2-cup one versus the 3-cup one, which is mine, because I don't really want a yellow Bara. I don't want a white one either. So I think I'm going to do like half, like a quarter teaspoon. Okay, so here's the quarter teaspoon of turmeric. Because this really makes things yellow. And to be honest, I think I'm just going to add a quarter teaspoon in mine instead of a half and see how that turns out. Just to give it a little color, but not too bright. Okay, so my recipe is done, but there's still some extras to be putting into this new one. It calls for a quarter teaspoon of jeera. So I'm going to add that. I've never seen anybody do that before, so let's try. This is just trying recipes and see what they're like. I'm doing this so that you guys can get the most delicious, soft, fluffy, authentic bara as possible in your home, right? And who doesn't love doubles? I do. Okay, so this new recipe calls for half a teaspoon of baking powder. It says for extra fluffy. So let's see if that really works. I'm pretty excited to try this, to be honest. Okay, so the water content for these two, the new one says 3/4 cup to 1 cup of water, warm water. This one that I use, I usually do about 1.5 cups of warm water. Okay, so we're going to try to bring this one together first, the new recipe. I'm just trying to, sift it through properly. Okay. I've got 1 cup of warm water. I'm going to make kind of like a little hole in the middle here. And I'm just going to pour it in slowly. Little pieces at a time. I'm going to be mixing the dough together. I'm hydrating the flour is how they call it. I've heard people say that. I'm not that technical. I'm just kind of like, hey, just feel for the dough to make sure that it's coming together. I lift it up and I just kind of put it underneath it and just keep grabbing some of the things, some of the flour, and mix it together. This recipe says to have like a really soft dough, like really soft. My original recipe, I usually have it like it's soft, but it's a little bit more together. So I'm going to try to see if this will make a difference or not. Just kind of start kneading it. There's still a little bit more water left, so I'm going to add it. It did say 3/4 to 1 cup, so I'm just going to just keep kneading it now. I might have put too much. We'll see. I guess you don't want to also over knead it, because if you over knead it, it's going to toughen up the dough as well. But I do see a lot of people making their dough really like sticky, and I don't normally do that. And I'll show you later like what mine normally looks like versus what this one's going to look like. Okay. I think this is what they're looking for. Not too stiff. Okay. So this is what people are saying, or actually, to be honest, I see a lot of people make their doubles like this, where it's like very soft and sticky dough. So I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to add the oil on top so it doesn't dry out. I'm going to say probably like, oh God, I don't know, enough to cover the whole thing. Because when it rises, see, there's a little bit here. When it rises, we don't want it to get sticky, right? So I'll grab some of that oil on the side here. We don't want it to dry out. It's going to be sitting there for quite a while. Okay. Let's see how this one turns out. Okay, I'm going to go grab the saran wrap. Now I'm just going to put it on my stove. I'll probably turn my stove on. I'll turn it on probably at like a 300 just to kind of warm it up a little bit, and then we'll let it sit there. Okay, so this is the new recipe. Now let's get to mine. Okay, so now we're back with my recipe. So now, like I said, I'm going to crumble up the sugar and just feel around, making sure that this is all here. Put a little hole in the middle of my flour and start doing little bits at a time. You just want to feel for it. It's nice and warm. The warm water activates the yeast. Like I said, I've never really done a video like this before, like comparisons. I did one with Polari, but not in this style. I did like two separate videos. So I don't know if I told you already, but I have 1.5 cups of water here, and I'm just kneading it through. Can you see that? Yeah. Let's do more. I don't know why. It feels like this is like, it feels softer. Okay. This is mixing nicely. But you see, you can already tell the one that I use is a bit of a stiffer dough. It's not completely stiff. Like you can see, it's still soft, but it's stiffer than that one. Just going to keep kneading it. Not for too long, because you don't want to knead it too long, and then it gets really like tough. You want a nice, soft, fluffy bara. See, it's still soft, but it's just stiffer than the other one. Yeah, so this is what I want. Okay, so we're going to add oil to this one as well. Okay. I'll add it to the bottom first. I'll just use this to kind of like swish it around like that. And then grab a little bit more and put it on top. I'd say probably like maybe 4 tablespoons, maybe. And just kind of make sure it's in there. There. And I'm going to add my saran wrap and let this rest as well. I'll let it rest for the same amount of time. Of course, I just wait, until it's like double in size, but like I usually let it sit there for about an hour anyway. So, okay. Okay, so this is mine. Okay, let's go let it rest for an hour and we'll be back. Okay, so now we're back. It's been rising, and I'm going to show you the difference. So this is mine risen, and this is the new recipe risen. You see the difference? One is risen much more than the other. Mine is actually more, I don't know, probably because there's more yeast. Normally do is I grab my bara and I squeeze out little pieces. So I just grab it like this. Just grab little pieces. And then I cover it and let it rise a little bit longer. That's what I normally do. What I usually do is I'll make like little circles so they're more even. Serious, they don't know how to deal with us. This was really small. Start to jump up, no. Everything in the air, start to jump up, no. Start to jump up, no. Start to jump up, no. I'm going to add a damp cloth on these and let them rise just a little longer. This is how I normally do it, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, like there. Okay, so you can see I've added some paper towel, like a damp paper towel, and I'm just going to let that maybe rise another 20 minutes or so. For the new one, I'm just going to add the saran wrap back onto it and let it sit again for that same time. And then we're going to try it again. So we're going to start making the doubles. I'm going to uncover. See how small the little ball is? But they're going to spread quite a bit. So I'm just going to put some oil on my hands too and spread them. You shouldn't have to put too much like pressure, but you should be spreading it as thin as you can. I do see a lot of people have like thick doubles. That's really not the way it's supposed to be. I don't care if you're a man. Party has one. I don't care if you have a man. See now how nice and thin? Like this. Add it to the oil. My oil should be a little hotter than this, but this thing for some reason doesn't make it that hot. So, and then that's it. Like look how like thin it, like look how soft it is already just coming out of the oil. And I'm going to grab it. I'm going to add it here to sweat. These ones are mine. Done. See? Okay, so now this is the new recipe. Okay. Add some oil to my thing here. I made them a little smaller. They're spreading out pretty good. There's like little specks in them. It must be like the jeera. Okay, let me try. I gotta add. So like these ones are smaller, but they don't seem as like soft. I'll also do a tear apart to show you which one is easier to tear apart. I'm doing the testing for you. All right. Okay. Again, just to show you. I was wait. I wasn't paying attention. No, that's what we would have want. That's it. Okay. Here are the new recipes, and these are mine. Let's go put the doubles together. Okay, so these are mine, and I'm going to show you how nicely they tear apart. See, so nice. I'm going to eat it. Super soft. That's my recipe. This is the new one. Same thing. Really nice. Yep. I don't know, guys. They're both really good. You could choose either one of the recipes and you'd be really happy with them. Okay, guys, here is the new recipe doubles. Well, the bara. I have another bara here because I just want to grab it and eat it because it's going to be triples. Okay. Very, very soft. I'm going to grab more, actually. Real soft. You can see. Mm. Oh, that's good. Which I knew it would be. I'm actually a little bit surprised about this one. Mm. Because when I was making them, they weren't as soft, but they turned out actually very delicious. Mm. Here's mine. I'm gonna add some. I'm left-handed, so I gotta switch it over. Okay, grab some. The chana. There we go. Okay. I like slight everything, so slight sweet sauce, tamarind sauce, slight, and then slight pepper. This is my homemade pepper sauce, and just slight. That's good. That's how I like my doubles, just like this. I'm gonna grab another one to make it like a triples, and just eat my doubles. Let's see. It's nice and soft too, obviously. I knew that. Mm. I don't know, guys. Mine is really like soft and thin too. To be honest, I can't really tell the difference. Yeah. Do you want some? I forgot to ask. Sorry.